Welcome back, all you monsters out there. It's DeMont's Big Bass Fishing come back at you. It's that time of the month again. We got another 6 cents box. Hope it's gonna be like the last one with that trace, but let's find out. Yeah, I've been trying to get moved into the new house, so I apologize I ain't got more videos done. Hopefully it's coming soon. Trying to get stuff set up at the house has been more aggravating than anything. We had to have construction done to get the internet even put out there. Now, this box is like all pushed up in there. Let's see what we got in this bag. Let's open it up. There's one thing in the back I'm kind of interested in already. Let's see what this is. This is what's holding inside the box. Oh, just some flush. I said, oh, like it's a piece of crap, but this is actually, I like this bait. What is this, watermelon red? Yep, a flush and watermelon red. 5.2 inch. All right, next thing. This is Swank. And a Swank 66X. Trying to get it to come down a little bit. This is like the hybrid hunter from Strike King. This is called Crawl Fire. I like the hybrid hunters. I mean, I haven't really used a Swank. I've got several of them. I haven't really tried them that much yet. I should give them a good chance just to try to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Oh. Now this is interesting to me because this looks almost new. I've got several of their other flat side baits. I don't think this is new though. Exclusive color, good luck charm. So exclusive color, one passage means it's exclusive for the box. Maybe. But these are like a half ounce. They're making really good flat side. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's a good flat side. It's not as good as some of the other ones. It has a little bit different action than some of the other ones. And it has a rattle. It has like a one knocker sound. But I mean, it's got good hooks. It's got a circuit bill lip. Really good hardware. Now looking at this color up close and personal, I kind of like it a lot. It's got some like faint chartreuse that kind of disappears on each hand. It's got that purple back. Yeah, that's nice. One thing that's good about their flat sides, I mean, most of the time I'm fishing a solid flat side, but one of the things good about these is that they're half ounce and they cast like a bullet. So, I mean, you can cast these things pretty much on almost any kind of gear you have. It's going to work out for you. So if you need to put them on a long bomber, but anyway, next thing. All right, so this is a Thud 70. Yep. Got a little squished or something. This color here is Threadfin Flash. They make a good lipless bait, so you guys already know that. Here's a Crushed Mini 25 MD. And this color here is Sexified Citrus Shad. Just in case you guys don't know, this is one of the little finesse cranks I throw quite a bit. They're a 1/4 ounce. They go, I think they go, yeah, 4 to 7 foot. Yeah, it's hard to see on that black box, but 4 to 7 foot. A lot of times when you're going like these mini baits, like you have some bombers, you have some rebels. You have a lot of like, unless you get Lucky Craft and things of that nature, but a lot of, I guess you would call it cheaper baits. Even some of the Strike Kings there are this size, they use kind of cheap hardware. And you want to change the hooks and split rings out. Especially this time of year when you're trying to mimic that smaller bait. And there's nothing worse than, especially if you're a tournament, you catch a bigger fish and you have cheap hooks and it spins your hook out. Because believe it or not, this is a small bait, but you can catch some big fish on it. All right, I feel like there's 2 more things in here. Okay. All right, so let's go to this. Crush 100X, the 5/8 ounce, 2 to 5 foot. And this color here is, I think, mudgill, right? Yeah, mudgill. Especially coming into, well, this is a silent model. Now, I know they make a silent model. I've had a few of them. I've had this color in silent. I have used this color quite a good bit. That's what I was getting ready to tell you about. Especially towards spawn and first part right after the shad kill. If you live anywhere near where I live and you have the shad kill, it almost seems like the bass, once they get through that feed, it's almost like they start targeting back in on bluegill. Because a lot of times the shad go out deep. Let's see what it sounds like. Yep, really silent. That's nice. But in the bluegill, the ones they're eating, they're a little bit bigger size. And so this actually kind of mimics them really good. And I like this color because the water, because when you start getting to late fall, early winter, you start getting more rain and more runoff. The water starts dirtying up. Water gets colder. And this bait just stands out really well. Because I mean, you got this deep chartreuse with this light blue, pale blue kind of side. The pale blue gills. I mean, if you ever cut, I got the purple back and the bright red belly. If you ever caught a bluegill around this time of year, well, more towards the early winter, you see how they get really colored up. But then when you get to when they get really cold, their colors start getting really faint. They actually make another color that's kind of a muted gill. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's really good for winter. Especially if you're a shallow water angler like I am. You can see what this next thing is. Something I kind of wish they didn't even give these to me, but they're okay. If you like a wide gap hook, they make a good hook. This is called a stout wide gap hook. This is a 5/0 size, which will work really good with that flush. I've just never been the biggest proponent of a wide gap hook. I have lost way too many fish on them. And my cousin, that's all he throws. That's all he uses. That's the only thing you can get the boy to buy is a wide gap hook. It's just not for me. Just want to show it to you a little bit better. It has a slight little Z-bend here that helps hold that bait on. And 6 Cents, they have a little bit wider gap, but they also bend the hook back into it. So let me see if you can see that really good. I don't know if you can see it against my hand good here. Let's just try this right here. Let me put it against the box. See if you can see what I'm talking about. You can kind of see how it's almost like they bring it up. They bring it up above the hook eye, but then they angle it back down to where it's actually pointing, somewhere in here below the point eye, which makes it even harder to hook the fish. Which I don't really understand why they do that. I mean, this is like proven hook science. I mean, it's a good sharp point. It doesn't, well, it is a stout hook. It doesn't flex at all. So, I mean, it would be really hard to even bend that out any. Now, let me see. Okay, so you can bend it out a little bit. Yeah, that's all I had to do. Look at that. Now the hook point is pointing, hook point's out here instead of pointing down here somewhere. So you can kind of see that on my hand. I just flex it up a little bit. And now the hook point is up here. It's about maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 millimeters above, or maybe a little bit more, above the hook eye. And that's all you really got to do with a wide gap hook to give it better hook penetration, better hookups. Because, let me show what I'm talking about here real fast. If y'all indulge me for a second, I'll go ahead and open one of these up and show what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's your flush. All right, let's take out one of these other hooks here. Yep, see how that one's kind of pointing down in here? It's the same thing, see it? Let me put this one on top of it, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about, where I bent it up. Try to give it the line up here for you. But you can see where that hook point on mine, the one I bent up, is already above the hook eye. Where the other one, this one's kind of flat, and that one's kind of pointing down. It's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, when you're rigging these up, you're going to come in about a 1/4 inch. You're going to come out. You're going to bring it. I like to get that hook eye inside the bait. But see, now it's going to sit flush along the back. See, it's got a little hook slot back here for it. These little these flushes. See this little hook slot back here on the back of these little fins? What I like to do is, see, you want to measure it on the body. And just bring it straight back like this right here. Basically comes out at the very end of that little hook cavity at the bottom of the hook with the flush. You're going to bring it straight up. And then the hook, you don't have to T-expose it. It rides perfectly in that little gap. As far as a fluke style bait, they have really done the research on these. I like the flush a lot. It's one of the first baits I told you about, guys. It was a sleeper bait that I almost didn't want to give away because they are just that good. I mean, look at that. It's a really good motion. The way it has these little fins on the sides, anatomically correct. So you can even see how that little hook point is rides right in that little pocket. Then when you get a bite, it pops right out of that little pocket. And it's ready to go. But you don't have to worry about, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. You keep T-exposing, you're tearing this little spot up here. And then you're trying to move it to another spot over here and trying to get a spot where you got a little bit of meat. And then eventually, you've done cast so many times, you ain't even caught a fish, but you've done cast so many times that you've torn the top of your bait up. And so now you got to basically change baits because the hook won't stay in the bait no more. All you're doing is getting hanged up. This kind of alleviates that. You see, it goes right directly across the top, but the hook point's right there. But it goes right directly over the top. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get off of that subject. That's a nice stout hook, though. It's very strong. But you gotta be careful when you start bending these hooks as well, though. Because the more you bend them, the more they're going to keep trying to bend. So you only want to try to bend it once. You don't want to bend it over and over and over again. Because the same kind of thing happens when you bend something back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Eventually it's going to break. All right, guys, I'm going to go and sign off. Just wanted to show you that really quick. Just to recap with you real quick. This month's box, you get a pack of flushes, which I buy these on the regular. It's one of the only two fluke style baits I use is, of course, a fluke and a flush. I use a fluke mainly because it's cheap, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I get these because if I'm in a tournament and I'm really trying to match the hatch, I just kind of wish they would make different sizes of these. Which somebody told me that's in the works, but it's not out yet. So, but anyway, you get the flush, you get the Finesse F, you get the Thud 70, you get the Swank 65X, you get the 100X Crush, you get the Crush Mini 25 MD, and you get a pack of stout hooks. 5/0. And it's been confirmed that you pretty much get the same pack no matter where you're at. The colors might be a little bit different, but over the last few videos I've done, people have reached out to me and told me that they basically got the same thing. So there you go. That's this month's box. Let me know down below what you guys think about it. It's not as exciting as getting the swim bait and stuff last time, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't expect to get that every single time, where the swim bait basically costs more than you're paying for the box. But guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. If you know somebody's looking to get one of these boxes, share this channel with them so you get to really get a look at these boxes. This is still the best value as far as a subscription service we have. I mean, no offense, but Monster Bass is way off. I still don't really understand what they're trying to do over there, and all those guys keep giving them all kinds of hype. Your mystery tackle box when it first came out was so good, but throughout the years, they kind of, I mean, every once in a while you get something cool, but some of the stuff they give you, you don't really know what the hell to do with it. And it doesn't even make sense sometimes for the time of the year. Like I remember last year, they were sending me silver buddies in summer. And I'm like, this is a wintertime bait, but you're sending it to me in the summer. That's nice. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off. You guys have a great day. Tight lines, and y'all be safe.